All right, we are going, I believe. And I actually just wanted to do this tonight because I've been traveling. I call it vacation, but we had to travel for a funeral, but we did some sightseeing in between. And I feel like it's been a couple of weeks since I've been able to really sit down and make music. And I figured, I'll get back to it. But it's weird because
hold on.
We had to travel for there we go. It's weird because even though it's been a couple of weeks, I feel rusty. Like I tried to do some stuff yesterday. I had to install some stuff, and it just seems like I don't know. It's weird. I could be doing this every day. Everything goes really quickly, and then you stop for a little bit, and for some reason, it takes you a little bit to get back into it. It was a weird. I don't want to say weird. It was an interesting trip too, because it was in a small town, and it's always interesting if you hear noise. There's a storm outside. Anytime I'll go, there's this music store there that I love going to, but it's often a bit of a weird experience because it's like it's almost a mix. I want to call it a mix of minds because a lot of the stuff in that area it's more traditional instruments. You know, they're really into the guitars, whatever. And I do play the guitar. I have 3 of them right here. But I play. Now I don't play very well. I try to play the guitar. I bought them because they're pretty. But anytime I go there, they have a little bit of more electronic stuff, but a lot of them don't. The people who work there don't really know that much about it. It's sort of a weird store too, because they sell stereos and they sell music. It's basically like a music store and a like hi-fi stereo store together. But this time when I went, all of the music stuff that used to be upstairs, I noticed like there was stuff a whole bunch of stuff like that downstairs. So I said, "Is there still an upstairs?" He says, "There's just like guitar cases or something." And I said, "So drum machines and stuff," because I remembered last time they had the Korg Volca. Did you guys ever see these? Hold on. The Volca Beats, I think, is the one they have. They're really fun. I want to get one of these for the couch just to practice patterns and set up patterns. It doesn't have MIDI out, which is the only really annoying thing, but it's this cute little drum machine. And it's like a couple $100 Canadian, probably 130, 150 US type of thing. And I noticed a lot of people sell them used for about $100 or less. $100 or more in Canadian money, 100 or less in US. Anyways, it's this nice little drum machine. There are like 4 or 5 different ones, and they all connect together, and they all do something very, very different. There's the beats, and there's another one that's like drums that I actually think I might get instead of this one. But anyways, I was asking if they had drum machines upstairs or if they moved downstairs, and the guy's like he says drum machine, you mean? And then he just points like at a drum kit. I think it was like, I don't think it was an electronic drum kit. I think it was just a drum kit. And at first I was like, okay, I guess like he thought that's what I meant by drum machine, but I'm trying to see it like from his side of things. He probably thought this guy came in, he says I guess he wanted drums. He's like, "Yeah, do you have one of those drum machine things?" Like, I don't know if he thought I was calling that a drum machine or what. But anyways, I looked through the store and then I showed him what it was. It was really interesting because like he was really interested in it. He took it out and he took the machine out of the box and everything. We were looking at it, and it was just it was interesting because so much of it. So much of it there was really the traditional stuff, but they do have some of the electronic stuff, and it's just nice to see those starting to blend together in a way. And one thing I love though when I was there is I tried a bass guitar for the first time, and I loved it. Just that last note. I don't know if you guys play the bass, but just the lowest note you can play, just the sound of it was just like you could feel it. So anyways, my next purchase is going to be a bass guitar. I'm not sure where I'm gonna put it, but yeah, I keep getting these stringed instruments. Like I've got the 3 guitars there. One of them's acoustic and the other ones are electric. But I also have a ukulele. And I now have a banjo, which is really weird because, I make house music. and it was sort of weird because my dad calls me one day, he says, do you want a banjo? He says, someone I know is selling one. And I was like, yeah, sure. But in my head, I was thinking a mandolin. So I was thinking, yeah, I could do like, Spanish type music, whatever, which would work really well in house music. And then I started to research it and I'm like, wait a minute, a banjo, like that's not what, like in my head, that's not what a banjo was, even though I knew what a banjo was. But anyways, so I ended up getting it anyways. And I want to find a way to fit that into house. I think I can make something really interesting. I don't know if I'll be able to, well, first of all, it's really tough to play. So I don't know if I'll be able to actually put an actual pattern in, but I think I could record some sounds with it, like individual plucks or something, and do stuff with it. So I think I'll be able to do something interesting until I learn to play it a little bit better. I have to get a mute, which I sort of, it's over there, but I sort of found a way through some YouTube videos to sort of make one. Because, okay, I don't know if you've ever played a banjo, but it's really loud. And on purpose, because you want the banjo to stand out in a band. You want it to be, you want to be able to hear it because a lot of the time that's the main part in a band with a banjo. But for me, it's too loud. So you can do stuff like if it's open, like if the back is open, you can put a t-shirt in it and it absorbs a lot of the sound. Like it just makes it a lot more quiet. But mine, I don't think I can even open it up without removing a bunch of screws. And it's like this sort of, I don't want to say antique one because I think it's from like the 70s or something, but it's not brand new. So yeah, I'm worried that something will happen if I start playing around with the screws and removing that. So that's not an option. There are mutes that basically go on the bridge. I think that's what it's called. Oh, hi, Split 86. Nice to see you. It basically, I wanted to find a mute. They're expensive or tough to find. There's a really good one called Mike's Banjo Mutes or something. Anyways, I'll be looking at getting something like that. But I did this thing with clothespins, and it seems to be working so far. So anyways, you'll probably hear some banjo in one of my tracks at some point, but not for now. So anyways, I want to get started. I've been wanting to do just work on a deep house track, and we'll see what we come up with. It won't be anything, anything complicated, but I figured we can have a bit of fun with it. And we'll just get the kick drum in there. Now, a lot of that deep house I've been making lately has a little bit of a South African deep house feel. And that's what I want to work on. There's one specific part I want to work on this. The snare, I always forget about the snare till later, so we'll do that one later, and we'll go right for the hats. So a lot of the time I just search for a hat that's made for deep house, but it doesn't really matter what it is. Oh, that's nice. We might be able to add this just as a background. This won't be the actual hi-hat we use for this track, but let's just put it here. And I always quantize these. I actually don't like this as much as I thought I would. Let's see, maybe if we add a little bit of delay to it. And do ping pong here. No, this, okay, let's leave this out for now. I actually want to just find the actual sound. We're probably, oh, actually this one could work. It's a little bit long, but we can work with that. See, I had planned on using this DMX plugin. I don't know if you guys have used this thing yet, but I actually did a video that'll be coming out in the next few days about it. But I did an earlier video about it, but they added multi-out, which is really nice because you can process each of the drums individually. That's what I was gonna do, but it feels like it's gonna take too much concentration for tonight. So I'm just gonna go with this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the hi-hat, but I don't want the pattern. I just want one of the hats. So what we'll do is just remove all of these. And we're just going to basically turn it into one shot. And it's a little too... It's a little too long. Let's try it this way. No, now it feels like it cuts too quickly. Way too loud. Actually, we'll do the volume here. It's always a good idea to adjust the volume in your drum rack, or hey, Apex. It's always nice to do it in the drum rack instead of, or in a utility or whatever, because it's it gives you more flexibility later. Because if you do it here, and if I were to bring this down here, once you're doing this stuff later, you're like, okay, I want to turn it up. And then when you get here, like, you can't do anymore. So I tend to not touch the mixer as much and do everything in here when I can. And then at the end, when you're mixing, that's where you'll use this. I don't know if I love this hi-hat, but it'll work for now. And let's get a top loop just to get going. Top loop. I can't type. I forgot to do that in the last couple of weeks too. I'm doing well, Split 86. Thank you very much for asking. How are you doing, and how are you doing, Apex? I hope you guys are doing good. And I want to thank you for coming into the live stream a lot of the time. And if you do type stuff and I don't respond, just so you know, I don't know what happens, but once in a while I don't see the chat, even though I switch from top chat to live chat, but sometimes I notice after there were a bunch of messages that I missed. So if I miss anything, yeah, don't feel like I'm ignoring you. I might not see it at all. Okay, I want to just get this going. Like, this isn't necessarily what I'll have at the end. Oh, actually, I sort of like this. This isn't what I'll have at the end, but it's just to get us going and have just basically a background, then we can start to add some instruments. What I'm going to do here is get rid of, right away, I'm going to get rid of the low end. I always hate when there's a top loop that has a lot of low end, because I want that used by the bass or whatever I'm adding later. So there we go. We're going to try it this way. And we'll add a little bit of quantize to it. Okay, we've got a little bit of a bass now. And speaking of bass, I'll just go. I end up with Deep House. For some reason, I always end up with the M1 plugin from Korg. And I think it's just because it's got so many sounds. Like, just this plugin has 3,700 patches, I think it is. And each of them, you can adjust so much in it. And so many of them sound amazing just on their own. And then I'm eventually going to get just a whole bunch of them. You can get the whole Korg collection or something. And I think there's 37,000 patches. And the thing is it's not some of these plugins end up being sample based, so they take up a whole lot of space. But this one is not. It's basically, it works off your CPU instead of your RAM, basically. So, and like, just look at this. If we go to bass, it's just got so many. Okay, let's choose a key here. We'll just do G minor or something. You've got so many like variations. Like each of these sounds completely different. So that's why I usually end up with this. Oh, that might be nice. I just want something simple. Okay, we'll adjust the velocity on these. That's not what I want. And we'll see what this is. I don't want a really strong bass line. It's basically just something to fill up the low end, and we'll quantize here. And we're gonna go. It doesn't look like we have too much EQing. I really just want the very low end of this. A couple of these. You know what? We might put them in. What I want to do is I always try to do this first. I just run a kickstart, even if it's just cutting off the very, very beginning here, just so it lets the kick through. Yeah, there's something I don't like about this. Maybe I might have to add just a filter and really just get that low end. You might not hear this very well unless you're listening on headphones. Like if you're on just a laptop speakers, the bass might not come through as much. But okay, we've got this. And another thing that we should like in Deep House is a string note that basically just goes straight through. We don't really know. Let's see here. String. Go to sounds. Definitely not these. Oh, that did not sound good. We want something, you know what, we'll just go with the violin. Definitely not this. The section might work. Okay, what we'll do is I'm going to replace the serum here. Yeah, this could work. Might even have to be a little higher. If I do live shows, I don't know if you mean like live in-person shows, and if so, yeah, I haven't in a very long time. I used to be a DJ, so I used to do it as a DJ, and then for live streams and stuff, I'll do a bit on Twitch and a bit here. But yeah, I don't know. I've always wondered, like a live show, doing a live show compared to like doing a concert compared to doing recorded production stuff is just so different. It's almost like, even though you're using the same software, it's almost like doing a completely different like career. I do mostly music for television shows, so that's what most of my time is spent doing in here. But I'd sort of like to do a live show, but yeah, I think I prefer the recorded stuff. I don't know. I think I get stressed out doing the live shows for some reason. Yeah, concerts. Yeah. Do you do live shows or anything? Or I don't know if you guys are into music or whatever, but oh, that's awesome. Thanks. I want to follow her. That's awesome. I actually really appreciate you guys being here. I wasn't sure if people would show up. I wasn't sure if I'd see the chat. Like I said, the last few times, it's like people tried to write stuff. I didn't even see them. So this is too low. But if we do an octave higher, it's too high. So let's... No, we're going to have to go with... I think we'll have to go with this one. Actually, I think this is better. And what we're going to do on here is add a... we're going to add a kickstart. And this is what I do. I put a kickstart. Usually this is for a pumping effect like this, but we don't want that. It's too much. But I bring it down so you can sort of tell if you've got headphones on, you can sort of tell it's pumping a little bit, and it's just adding a little bit of movement. And when it's in context with everything else, you almost have it like bouncing almost. So it's sort of nice to have on here. And if I have Instagram, yes, it's my name, which is on here, Luke Terrio, official. Luke Terrio official. And yeah, if you follow me on there, I'll follow you back. I don't have that. I don't use it that much though, but yeah, I'll make sure I follow you back. Yeah, it is side chaining. Like this is basically just it's just lazy side chaining. There's a bit of a difference between regular side chaining, because if you do it through the compressor, obviously if your kick drum stops, the side chaining will stop. This one will always be running unless you automate it or whatever. But it's basically a lazy way to do the side chaining. And then I don't go to those extremes for some stuff. I will. Oops. Did I just redo insert device? There we go. Yeah, that's too extreme there. So, and yeah, it just gives it a little bit of bounce. And then what I also do here is get rid of any of these lows that we don't hear, because we really don't need. All we need is just that high string going in the background. And okay, we're getting somewhere. This might even be a little bit too loud. You don't even want to hear the string. It's just really filling up the high end, because a lot of this stuff in deep house will be on the low end. You've got the bass and the kick, and a lot of the organ that I'm about to add will be, what I tend to do with the organs is actually, you know what, we're going to use the M1 again. Is I filter it and just really use the lows. So it just gives a little bit of stuff in the high end, basically besides the hi-hats, because otherwise it's all that's up there in a lot of these tracks. So we're going to do, something I forgot to do on here. If you ever use this M1 plugin, you really have to, like, once you find a sound that you like this, you have to choose it. Like, you have to double click on it, because otherwise it doesn't load it. So when you leave and do something else, when you come back to it, it lost your preset. And there's just so many presets in here that unless you noticed which one you put on there, you'll never know what you had been using. So I'm not changing anything on here right now, but later down the road, I'll probably work on it a little bit more in there. But okay, so this is where we have the other M1, and we're going to choose an organ. This is always the toughest part for me, because I love having this organ, just the chord going through, but there's just so many to choose from. And so what we might... Okay, I'll try. I want something like this. Just something I don't want this church type organ. We might use this one actually. It's got way too much reverb on it, but we can get rid of that. what I'm going to do is just what we're going to do is do this, but it won't sound like this once we put it in, because like I said, I filter. See, did we just lose it? I think we did. That's what I was saying. Unless you load it completely. Yeah, see, that's what happened. We lost our preset. Do you guys remember which one it was? Might be able to use this one, but I don't even know. Like, these don't even look like the same ones we were going through earlier, but okay, it might have been this one. So we'll make sure we load it up, and then I'll have to change some of the notes on here. These are just a little too far away. And what we're going to do here is, like I said, we're going to add a filter here and bring this way down. We have to get rid of this. Okay, first of all, we'll get rid of the low end on here because there's way too much of it. Okay, and man, what was it I wanted to do? Oh yeah, remove the reverb on here. Now, this plugin, that's one thing it's tough to figure out in here how to do stuff sometimes. I think we might be able to just do this though. No, see, like sometimes it's really logical stuff. It's tough to figure out how to remove. Might be this one. And why isn't it? Yeah, okay, so the program does something else. I have to sit around with this one a little bit more. It's not removing this. I figured out last time how to do it. Is it on here? No, I think we have to keep this on. Okay, well, there's one way to do it. There are two ways to do it. Either we change the preset or I just throw a gate on there and maybe even, okay, this is what we're going to try because I really like the sound of it. So if we go to Transient Designer, this Transient Shaper here, it works really well for stuff like this. And we're just going to remove this. There we go. You still have a little bit in the background, and we might add a gate just to have it not stick around as much. Audio effects. I'm so happy the chat works this time because, like I said, it was really annoying to be realizing after that people are writing stuff, and I never knew. Yeah, I don't like this. Actually, this one, I think this will be fine. Okay, so what I was saying at the beginning is I like having a little bit of a South African deep house feel. So there's something. Actually, we were talking about Instagram a second ago. Instagram. I don't know if you guys know this instrument. It's called a Kosh Cash, and it's basically these two little there it is here. It's like little balls on a string, and if you play it, oh, I hope I can play without logging in here. Oh, I can't. Okay. No, see, this is his Instagram again. Okay, here we go. We can probably get it from here.
And you have 1, 2, shake, shake, 1, 2, shake, shake, and then you go 1, 2, shake, shake, 1, 2, shake, shake, 1, 2.
So if we look at this, I love the sound of it, and so what I want to try to do is have a little bit of percussion like that. So we're going to try to have a sort of a knock, some sort of percussion, the knock knock, like 1, 2, and then have a shaker go in. So I'm not sure how this will work, but so what do we use for percussion? Okay, let's just look for percussion and we'll find something. No, we want what can I look for? Basically, oh yeah, I don't want rock music, but I want a rock. What are these?
Let's rock.
Okay, that's could be useful as a vocal, but that's not what we're looking for. Let's see here. Oh, okay, this could work. And yeah, so we're gonna go here, which is a MIDI track. If you drop a sample into MIDI track, it'll load up simpler right away. And if you go to here to slice mode, all of a sudden, like your slicing's done automatically. So we sort of want this. I'm gonna just make it shorter, and we're gonna I don't know if, let's see. Yeah, that's not really what we want. What about, yeah, this could work. So I'm just gonna do fade out. I always do fade out on these because otherwise it's just too choppy, and what happens is it starts to pick up the next slice over. Okay, so we're gonna start with a 1, 2. And this one is off. Yeah, and I'm not looking to get the exact Koshkash sound. I just want to get a little bit of this, just a little bit of the feel. Let's see, we'll quantize it. The weird thing is that this is sort of doing a little bit of what the organ's doing. So I guess we had that sort of groove already, but okay, and then we're gonna it's fighting a little bit with that organ, so we might just try to get just the highs of this maybe, or sort of nice because it's sort of, it almost gives a transient to the organ. So we'll see if we can use this. And now we need a shaker. So the 1, 2, shake it, shake it. So the shaker, probably just get a shaker loop, and then we're gonna cut down, just take a little part of it. Okay, if we're stuck, we can use that one. We can use that one along with it. There we go. We can use this. Throw it on audio here. Actually, I wasn't planning on using much of it, but okay. Yeah, we're not going to use all of this, but if you remember over here, let's go back to this. So we're using the
2, shake, shake, and then you go 1, 2, shake, shake. 1,
So-
2, shake, shake.
So what we've got here is we want to get rid of this here. So we're going to go to the envelopes here, clip gain. So we're going to remove this first part and just bring it in slow. There we go. I think it's way too loud, but it's starting to get a little too busy, so we might have to do some moving around. So we're going to throw... I'm just wondering if we had a little... Where's this percussion? Wait, what if... I don't know if I like the organ. The more I think about it, where is it here? I should be naming these. I'm so bad at naming my tracks. I don't even know if I like... If we have it, we'll just have it really low. So it just gives it a little bit of a feel for that groove. But the more I think about it, I don't really like this this organ. Where is it? Okay, so this is our rock. It's probably this. Unless, is it maybe this rock that's too much now? Because we might not even need this sound here. I don't think it's adding to it because we have that pattern from the organ already. Might be able to bring the shaker up a little bit though. Okay, so what do we add now? Maybe have serum and there's a preset pack that I love. I don't know if you guys know the stuff from Glitch Tones. I love the music. I love the sounds they make, but the guy who runs it, Stuart, is awesome. There we go, mallets. It's way too loud, but I'm wondering if we could put an arpeggiator on here. And I don't know if you guys have used the new arpeggiator in Ableton Live 12. They added a bunch of stuff. It's so much nicer now. Oh, there we go. Looking in the wrong place. Okay, it's been a long day. Yeah, so it's got all of these extra patterns now, but I'm wondering if no, I don't want to record this, but no, this isn't it. Let's see here. So I made a bunch of these presets for the new arpeggiator, and they sounded so good, but it was with one specific instrument I tried them on, and like I gave them names like this, All About the Melody. I think that's one that I did. And yeah, happy footsteps, and it sounded like these footsteps, and I realized that it only sounded that good on whatever instrument I was using. I was using some plugin. I can't even remember which one it was. So I have to, I guess, redo the names because the names don't make sense on any other instruments. So no. And these are some of the ones that come with Ableton, but let's try this one here. I'm wondering if it sounds weird, but I think this can work just way in the background. Okay, let's see here. It does sound weird, but I think we can make this work. So we'll do this. Get rid of this extra note here. Quantize everything. Bring this one here. Select everything. Hit legato. Okay, we're sort of getting somewhere. What we might want to have on here is a delay, and I love tape delays for stuff like this. The tape echo. Try this one. We just have to adjust the speed. We'll sync it. I don't even know if I like this at all. Okay, we might bring this one back in later on. Okay, we need a vocal sample, and see if we can get something. Okay, I don't have anything like that. Oh yeah, we'll just do Vox. We'll basically look for something almost random. Is there a way to adjust the volume on here? I don't know. It always seems like the samples play louder than everything else.
You are in one day, put it through.
And what I'm looking for is something just that has a little bit of a, like an or something that we can pitch down, and like I'm not looking for words or anything, just, I don't know. Well, no. Yeah, something like, this isn't really exactly what I was looking for, but let's see if this can work just even as a placeholder. Like, we're not going to finish this. Oh, no, that's not where I want to put it, is down here. Okay, so we're going to do slice. See what I was saying, where it just cuts? So that's why I always do a fade out. And we're going to transpose it. Yeah, this isn't exactly what I'm looking for, but this might work. Let's look for something else as well.
Kill the lights.
This could work actually. If we do create a new MIDI track, drop it here. It's gonna be a lot of slices because it's a really long sample, but that's okay.
Ain't the bag, ain't gun. Right time to in the in the front, the front.
I wonder if this would work.
Front.
We pitch it way down. We'll do a full octave. No, this isn't what we need. We'll find it. We'll find it. This could work actually. Just that beginning. We'll make it shorter, but and even a little bit shorter. I think this could work. Actually, we'll just, I don't know. No, that's not that's not what we need. These are so loud. That's impossible. I always forget you can go with the arrows instead of going with mouse.
Flash in the pan. This is a gathering of elements, part of the.
I wonder if there's something in here we could use. Yeah, this one. This one's workable. Actually, I think we can take what we just did. That's what I love about Ableton Live. I don't know if you know about this button here, but it's basically always recording everything you do. So if you just did something that sounded really good, you can just hit that button and it'll throw the MIDI in from what you played before you were recording, which is really nice. And this one will throw. Okay, I have to start naming these guys. So what do we have here? Vocal sample. And I want to find the other vocal sample we had a minute ago that we said we wouldn't use. Where is it? Is it this one here? No? Nope, it's not this one. Oh, maybe I got rid of it. Oh, okay, well. I thought I had it though. Okay, anyways. That's okay. We don't need the other one. Though we will go back and use this tape. No, there's gotta be, oops, sorry about that. Microphone noise. No, we did have something else. Was it this one? That might work with what we have. On its own, it didn't. Okay, that's too long. So we're gonna do. What I like to do when you have two vocals sort of playing off each other is to have, you basically pan them. And what I tend to do, I don't know if you ever noticed on a piano where the lower notes will be on the left and the higher notes will be on the right, because that's where the strings are, right? Where whichever notes you're playing on a traditional piano, yeah, the sound will come from wherever the keys are. So our ears are sort of used to hearing some of these sounds like with the lower, like the bass on the left and the higher notes on the right a lot of the time. So that's what I tend to do with vocals like this one here. So this one here is lower. So we're throwing that one a little bit on the left, not too much, but, and then the other sound is higher and we're throwing that one on the right. So this one here on the right. And actually, we're gonna remove the lows here because there's too much. I just want the highest part of it. Because we did that, might have to add a little bit of volume. Actually, we'll go a little bit lower, but. And then we're going to group these two. And throw some reverb. If you guys watch my videos often, you probably know which one I'm going to throw in here because this is my favorite reverb ever. And a lot of the time, I think it's actually free if you get the Contact Start. I think it comes with it, but, and like this is just the initial preset and it just sounds good on its own. So and I feel it's just a little bit too much in the high end, so we'll just do a shelf here. And then I always like to, as I'm working on it, I like to work a little bit on seeing what the arrangement will sound like once we do it. And I'm just gonna move all of these to the same scene. And this one we're not using, wasn't there another one? Yeah, this one here. Actually, oh, the snare, we didn't put a snare in. Let's just do, I tend to forget about stuff. I'm sure I have a bunch of tracks where there's no snare or clap. And I don't know why. It's just, for me, the hi-hat is my important sound. And so I tend to jump, like I did this time, from the kick right to the hi-hat. And I forget to come back to the snare. But I got this one recently, and I don't know. I just want a, actually, you know what? I think this one here might be better. Oh, see, it's throwing these into the drum rack. I just want, yeah, this is good. We'll add a little bit of randomness. We'll try to split it up a little bit. And we're going to turn it way down, obviously. So let's just see. It's a little... No, I don't like this one. Okay, let's do, just to make things easy, we'll just find a snare and clap sample where they did the work for us. It's a little loud, but it'll work. And then this is where there are two trains of thought, I guess you'd call them, about this is some people prefer to use the actual WAV file. And where were we? All right, we can use this one. It might be a little too strong, but some people prefer to use the WAV, the actual sound clip, and then put it in here in arrangement view and repeat it over and over. I prefer to do it through the drum rack, and there's really one huge reason for it. It's that if you want to make changes later, you don't have to go change each of these sounds. It's basically just MIDI. So you can just, like, we can work on this, and if we don't like, here, let's just... way too loud, but so we can have this, and then if we decide to change it later, we don't have to go and change each of the snares that we put in the track, and then there's parts where it comes out and it goes back in. Basically, we just go change the sound, we just drop it right on here, or we can drop it on here and then go into the shift tab, there we go, and if we were to drop it, we could just move it up and down. But it's a lot easier to work with stuff later. Or even if the other thing is, if you sit there and you decide it's too long, like this one is too long. I find it a little too long, so we can reduce it. But if you use the actual drum sample and you repeated it in your track, you decide you want to shorten it, you have to go shorten every single one of them, and it's a hassle. So cuts a little too fast, but yeah, I might have to add a little bit to it. Okay, so what I was saying originally is I like to go throughout the track and just try seeing what it'll sound like once it's arranged. So we're not actually going to record the arrangement, but what we're going to do is get rid of a bunch of these. I try to remember what is where, but okay, so all I'm doing there is removing a bunch of stuff and then bringing it back in just to see if it flows, like, and I think we've got something here, so we'll get rid of the That's weird. When we remove the bass, it took so long for it to leave. I don't know if we've got... Yeah, this could work. Where you'd have a little bit of a build up, a little bit of a rise, and then go back into this. So, yeah, it's sounding good. So I don't know how much of this I could do more tonight. I think we've got the beginning of an interesting track. There's something that I want to change. Yeah, I think it'll be this. I might want to do something to just I don't know if it's a clap or something, but it just feels like it's too much. So I might have to... I'm wondering if we can even... I wonder if we remove the whole thing. to work on this a little bit more. But it might even just be throwing a limiter on here. I just want to get those claps down. They're too in the way. Limiter. Go to the audio effects. Actually, you know what? We might use that transient designer that we used earlier. And I think it's just the transients are just, we'll just remove some of the punch here. No, we will use the drum bus. This drum bus works on everything. You know, it's called a drum bus, and we figure it must be just for drums. But the first time it was Julian Earl. I don't know if you guys have seen his YouTube videos. They're so good. But he uses this on everything. And I realized that, yeah, like just because it's called a drum bus, it doesn't mean it's just for drums. But so we'll just bring the transients down here. Might need this one. Okay. We'll remove the drive here. Actually, what we might do, I think that's the thing, is I'll throw a compressor earlier on and we'll leave the attack a little higher. Actually, no, we'll bring the attack. What I want to do is bring up, if we listen to it on its own, I want to bring the other stuff up. There we go. It sounds a little overcompressed, but what we're doing with it, actually we're going to put the EQ at the end here. Yeah, what we're looking at is to have it with everything else. Actually, we might bring a little bit of reverb up. That clap is still too loud. We might have to go in and, yeah, that'll be okay. Well, I had a teacher in high school that told us it was tout ce qui mérite d'être fait mérite d'être bien fait in French. And basically what that means is everything that's worth doing is worth doing right. And yeah, like really, it's just these two, and especially this one here. So if we take the envelope, and you don't want to do mix or track volume because that will just move this here and it limits you later, like I was saying earlier. But if we go to the clip gain, if we can just remove, like bring this one down. Okay. Doesn't make a like you don't really notice a huge difference, but it makes a difference. Okay, you know what? This is where we're gonna leave it at this for now, and yeah, we have a starting point to do something else with it later. Or knowing myself, I'll probably save this and just start a whole new track tomorrow and never do anything with it. But I have to release stuff. Yeah, I have to release some of these tracks, just finish them up because it's so easy just to start a new one. But yeah, I have to get some of these out, and you know, a good part of it is done. there's a few other things I'd want to do to it. Maybe add a little bit of a pattern into it, and obviously do the arrangement. And I'd like to find another sample that's a little bit stronger that I can use in this. So anyways, okay. Well, I hope you were able to learn something from this. I hope it was entertaining for you. And yeah, I want to thank you for being here and watching the stream and helping me get back into the swing of things after traveling a little bit. And yeah, so I guess I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next live stream or the next video. All right, see ya.